Have you ever played a game of chess? It's all about strategy and concealing your intentions, right? This is Law 3 in Greene's book. Now imagine life as an elaborate chessboard. Each move you make is crucial, and revealing your strategy too soon could lead to your downfall. This law, Conceal Your Intentions, delves into the importance of keeping your strategies and intentions hidden, allowing you to maintain the upper hand. Let's delve into this a bit more. When you conceal your intentions, you create an aura of unpredictability. This unpredictability keeps people guessing, keeps them on their toes. It's a powerful tool, especially when you're in a competitive environment. It's like being a puppet master, pulling the strings without anyone seeing your hands move. But there's a catch, isn't there always? While concealing your intentions can give you an advantage, it can also create an atmosphere of mistrust or suspicion. Too much secrecy can backfire, leading people to question your motives and actions. It's a delicate balance between control and deception. So how can you navigate this? The key is to be strategic about what you reveal and what you keep hidden. Be like a magician. Show enough to intrigue and engage, but keep the final trick up your sleeve. It's not about lying or manipulating, but about being tactful, strategic, and wise in how you present yourself and your intentions. Remember, though, this isn't a one-size-fits-all rule. Different situations call for different strategies. Sometimes it might be more beneficial to be open and transparent. The art of concealing intentions is not about being deceptive all the time, but about knowing when to show your cards and when to keep them close to your chest. The art of concealing intentions is like a double-edged sword. It can cut both ways. It can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy, depending on how you wield it. So the question is, how will you wield it? Now let's move to the next law, shall we? Prepare yourself for another intriguing exploration of power and influence. Have you ever been told to know your place? This is what Law 1 is all about. Picture this. You're in a room full of people, and you're the brightest star. Your ideas are innovative, your work ethic is relentless, and your talents are unparalleled. You're a rising star, and everyone knows it, including your boss. But here's the catch. In your quest to shine, you inadvertently outshine your boss, your master, the one who holds the reins of power. Your brilliance becomes a threat rather than an asset. You've shone so brightly that you've cast a shadow over your superior, and suddenly your position is precarious. This, my friends, is the essence of Law 1. Never outshine the master. You might be wondering, why should I dim my light to make others comfortable? And it's a valid question. Why should your talents be cloaked under the guise of mediocrity? Isn't the whole point of working hard to showcase your abilities and rise to the top? But remember, this law isn't about suppressing your talents. It's about understanding power dynamics and navigating them effectively. So how do you strike a balance? It's a delicate dance. On one hand, you need to demonstrate your worth and potential. On the other, you need to ensure you aren't perceived as a threat. It's about shining, but not so brightly that you blind those in power. It's about understanding that power isn't just about individual brilliance, but also about strategic alliances, diplomacy, and sometimes a bit of humility. It's about recognizing that a candle can exist alongside the sun, and both can provide light without outshining the other. So as you can see, power dynamics can be a tricky game. It's not just about what you can do, but also about how you do it. It's about knowing when to step forward and when to step back. It's about understanding that sometimes the best way to climb is to lift others along with you. But wait until you hear about the next law. It's about using others to do your dirty work. Sounds scandalous, doesn't it? Well, stick around, because things are about to get even more interesting. Ever heard the phrase, "don't get your hands dirty"? Well, that's Law 7 for you. This law is all about using others to do your dirty work. It's a strategy that on the surface seems to make you untouchable, keeping your reputation pristine while others do the heavy lifting. But let's delve a bit deeper. See, the power derived from this law is a double-edged sword. Yes, you might appear powerful, directing the actions of others from the shadows. But what happens when people realize they're just pawns in your game? The potential backlash can be swift and severe, turning allies into enemies in the blink of an eye. This law, like many of Greene's laws of power, is not without its risks. It's a delicate dance, a balancing act of influence and manipulation. Sounds risky, doesn't it? But it's nothing compared to our next law. Imagine being a spy, gathering intel while pretending to be a friend. That's Law 14 in action. It's a law that taps into our curiosity, our appetite for knowledge, and our penchant for strategy. You see, information is power. The more you know about a person, their desires, their fears, their plans, the more leverage you have. You can predict their moves, counter their strategies, and manipulate the situation to your advantage. But here's where it gets tricky. To gather this intel, you need to pose as a friend. You need to win their trust, make them comfortable, make them believe that you genuinely care about them. And all this while, you're just mining for information. You're playing the part of a friend, but working as a spy. Now, this doesn't sound very friendly, does it? And that's the rub. This law, like many others in Robert Greene's playbook, is a double-edged sword. It can make you powerful, but it can also make you a pariah. People are not objects to be used for your gain. They're not pawns to be moved around on your chessboard. They're individuals with feelings, with dignity, with rights. And when they realize that you've been using them, that all your friendly overtures were just a ruse to gather intel, they will feel betrayed. They will feel used. They will feel violated, and the damage doesn't stop there. Word gets around. People start to see you for what you truly are, a manipulator, a user, a spy. They start to distrust you. They start to avoid you, and suddenly you find yourself alone with no friends, no allies, no one to trust. So yes, posing as a friend to work as a spy can give you power, but it can also cost you your relationships, your reputation, your humanity. It's a high price to pay, don't you think? Makes you rethink the meaning of friendship, doesn't it? But hold on, the next law is even more controversial. Ever thought about annihilating your enemies completely? That's what Law 15 suggests. This law is all about security, about ensuring that threats are dealt with so thoroughly that they can never rise again. It's about eliminating all possible challenges to your power, about crushing your enemies totally. But while this may give you a sense of security, it also raises some serious moral questions. Are you willing to destroy someone completely for the sake of your own power? Are you comfortable with the potential damage this could cause to your moral compass? It's a controversial law, one that pushes the boundaries of what we might consider acceptable in our pursuit of power. We all have enemies, rivals, competitors, but how far are we willing to go to secure our position? Are we prepared to crush them totally? A tough pill to swallow, isn't it? But we're not done yet. Our final law might be the most deceptive of all. What if you could charm your way to the top? That's Law 24 for you. This law, Play the Perfect Courtier, is all about mastering the art of charm and flattery. In the grand game of power, being able to win people over with your charisma can be an invaluable tool. It's about knowing how to say the right thing at the right time, how to make people feel valued and important. In essence, it's about mastering the art of people skills. But here's where it gets tricky. Charm and flattery are powerful tools, but they can also be a double-edged sword. When you're constantly playing a role, always being the charming courtier, you run the risk of losing sight of who you truly are. You may start to question, is this the real me or just a character I'm playing? It's a slippery slope, and before you know it, you might find yourself caught in a web of your own making. Furthermore, there's also the risk of becoming too predictable. If you're always the one who flatters and charms, people may start to see through your act. They might start to question your sincerity, and once that happens, your power begins to wane. The challenge here is to be charming and flattering while still maintaining a sense of authenticity. It's not an easy balance to strike, but when done right, it can be incredibly effective. So what's the takeaway here? Play the Perfect Courtier is about more than just being charming and flattering. It's about understanding human nature, about knowing when to step forward and when to step back. It's about balancing authenticity with diplomacy. So, you see, power is not just about controlling others, it's also about controlling yourself. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. So there you have it, 6 of the most controversial laws from the 48 laws of power. We've delved into the art of concealing intentions and the potential fallout of too much secrecy. We've examined the delicate dance of never outshining the master and the complex implications of using others to carry out our less savory tasks. We've looked at the dangerous game of posing as a friend while working as a spy, and the ruthless demand to crush our enemies totally. Lastly, we've considered the all-encompassing act of playing the perfect courtier and the risks of losing ourselves in the performance. Each law presents a unique power, a distinct tool in the game of influence and control, yet each carries its own risks, moral quandaries, and potential for backlash. It's a delicate balance, a game of chess where every move counts. Remember, power can be a double-edged sword. Use it wisely. And don't forget to comment below which law shocked you the most. Until next time, stay sharp.